That ship moves closer, we're getting a more clear view now at just how horrific the conditions are on board.
That's right. Those pictures are starting to pour into our newsroom. Video shot from overhead shows people holding up signs from the deck asking for help. We've been telling you about the sewage problems on board, this red bag you might see there. Passengers say it was used as a toilet. 7 Action News anchor Stephen Clark is in our satellite center tonight tracking these rapidly changing developments. Stephen, when are these passengers expected to arrive? We know they've had some trouble. When is the latest?
Well, the latest word we have is they should arrive our time between 10 and midnight. But still, once they get there, to get everybody off that ship's going to take between 4 and 5 hours. Now, as we've been talking about, we've heard the horror stories about the toilets that won't flush and are all backed up, the lack of power, no air conditioning. But now, as you said, the ship is getting closer to shore, so we're starting to get some of these telephone pictures sent in. So we wanted to show you a few. First of all, this is actually from CNN right here. You can see the passengers spelling out the word help right here on the deck. We're not okay, they've written on sheets. Now, unfortunately, they're smiling, so maybe it's not as bad as they're making out. Or it is. RIP Triumph. This is the makeshift tent city out there on that popular deck overlooking the pool. People just strung sheets up and they spent the nights under the sheets because no air conditioning inside. The smell was unbearable. Some people went into the restaurants or into the hallways and they set up their own makeshift beds. Power was at a premium. They had no place to plug in their phones, so every once in a while they could get a little charge so they could get their messages out to their family. But all in all, it was not 5 days of fun. Now, we've been following the story specifically of Gina Howe. She's from Saline. She's been on that ship that's been stranded out at sea. She finally managed to borrow a guy's cell phone today and get a call out to her sister, who we talked to late this afternoon.
She said it's deplorable. She said there's sewage, there's feces everywhere. She said, and we are trying to be as healthy as we can to stay away from it all and to stay up on the top. She said there are some restrooms you can use, but she said we will not even use those because you're breathing in the most disgusting air. She said, I cannot tell you how bad it is. She asked me, she said, do people know about us? And I said, oh my gosh, honey, I said, the world is watching you. And I said, you know what, I said that WXYZ came up and did a story about you and your journey. And she goes, oh my gosh, and they both started crying. They said, thank you so much.
They're just happy that the world does indeed know what they're going through. To complicate matters, Gina is a diabetic. She ran out of insulin last weekend, and with a serious food shortage aboard, she also had to survive on fruit, vegetables, and bread, and so she finally got a little protein in the form of some eggs and bacon this morning. So once again, that cursed cruise, the tow line broke, as we talked about a couple of minutes ago, delaying their docking even more outside of Mobile, Alabama. Now we're told they should be our time into port about 10 o'clock to midnight. Customs is already on board. They're clearing people ahead of time so they don't have to wait to get cleared to customs once they get off that ship. But it'll be 4 to 5 hours of unloading the ship to get all of those passengers and crews. There are 4,000 passengers and crew. They've got to get off that ship, and then they've got to get them from Mobile. They're going to get most of them back to Texas, where they took off originally, so then they can continue their trips and go home or whatever. But we're told they've been offered all sorts of free vouchers for future cruises. The question is anybody going to take those vouchers?
I asked that question on my Facebook page, and I'm hearing a lot of no. People here wouldn't if they were given that, but
Can't
we'll
imagine
see.
after 5 days of that.
Yeah.